Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Metallica discography video. So, for those not quite in the know about what is going on, allow me to fill you guys in. So, on Christmas Day of the current year, 2026, I plan on sewing everything up and putting a neat little bow on our time with Metallica for good. And how are we going to do this, you may be asking? In a very, very simple little video I call every single Metallica song ranked from worst to best. It doesn't get any more simple and needlessly complicated than that. And whilst the subject matter for that is certainly going to be coming about quite a lot later, what isn't coming about quite a lot later is where we are at right now, because by the end of today, we'll be at the end of May. Not just in terms of just doing these videos, but also we will technically be at the halfway stage of doing these videos. Because the idea I had is that because there is over 120 songs to go through, and we are just about coming up to the halfway point in Metallica's library, we're doing half the catalogue in May, and then resuming this little exercise in October. And that means that we'll be finishing off Load today. And it also means that by the time we get to October, we'll have a very, very interesting back half to go through. Because even though I must admit, I know fine well what I like on Load, but I also know what I'm just like not really a fan of. So yeah, it's not quite as mixed as I thought it was going to be, because I know what I like. And there's still, I would say, more than, I think there's like 2/3 of this album I definitely like. The other third, I appreciate them for what they are, but I probably wouldn't go out of my way to listen to them again. Sad, but, well, there you are. Meantime, there are now only 2 more songs to go through, and one of them straight up sounds like the idea for, like... Isn't it true? I think that, like, Ronnie is meant to be about some sort of, like, serial killer or something like that. Because it was either that, or they were, like, paying homage to Ronnie Wood or Ronnie James Dio. Despite the fact that Ronnie James Dio didn't die until 2010, and Ronnie Wood is still very much alive. But who knows, maybe this is just some guy that the band knew or something like that. Maybe some crazy super fan. But let's find out very, very right now. So, let's go. stains of the sea.
Don't you dare ask why I'm cursed to wear this face. Well, now we all know why the children called him Ronnie Frown when he pulled that gun from his pocket and they all fall down, down, down. And said, lost my way this bloody day. Lost my way.
Stains on resume. Indeed. So, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, and, well, the more I must admit, I actually, there was a part of it that made me realise, and outside of, just knowing straight up what exactly, the tone was, I will admit, there was a part of me also deep down inside that thought, what's that one song by Pearl Jam? I think it's called Jeremy, about a guy who shot himself, literally just stood up in class and then literally just shot himself in the head. And that's kind of what I feel like this is kind of... Do you think they were trying to, look towards the likes of Pearl Jam or Soundgarden for ideas? Because it has sort of occurred to me a little bit that actually there are quite a few parallels to stuff like that. And even the story about this guy who's lost his way, it even sounds something straight up parallel to Leroy Kincaid, aka the Cold-Hearted Man. Yeah, there were some even early ACD references, and I'm sure it was, or maybe it was entirely intentional. But then again, if you are going to take references from that sort of thing, you know what? I think they've made a really good choice, because to sort of as we're closing out this album, I must admit, I'm glad that they actually chose I'm glad we're ending this quite strong, because Ronnie, I suppose, actually should go quite up. I think should be up there, and yeah, I think this again. It's one of those better than average sort of times, and well, even though that there is still at least one more song to go through, and boy howdy is it the longest one yet, there is still plenty of time to say, you know what, maybe it will go even higher than I originally anticipated. So, whilst we are here, I think I should go over a little bit about what exactly, like, how we're going to be ranking all of these songs. So, before I even started recording Hit the Lights, I had the idea of doing this tier list on Tier Maker, and I already had a pretty good idea about what from worst to best was going to look like. But the good thing about going through these one last time is the idea that we have a point of reference. We can go back, we can investigate some things, and we can sort of say, maybe this would be better if it was over here, and so on. And for reference, there's like 6 tiers to this list, and the top one is like top 10 songs only, because I feel like that's a easier way to measure something, in my opinion. And then sort of going downwards, it goes from great to good with 1 asterisk to probably needed some work, I probably won't be listening to again, and definitely the worst. And surprisingly, like, there's not really that much, like, shockingly bad stuff we've covered so far. And even then, even the stuff that's going to be at the bottom, which, so, for reference, the one song that I feel like is in the bottom tier is Escape, of all things. Yeah, that's, and the tier above it isn't exactly, full either. But, yeah, that might possibly change when we come a little bit further into this, because, well, who am I kidding? We still got one more song to go through, and boy howdy, I hope this is going to end things strong. So, with all that being said, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.